All right. Good evening, everyone. It is now 6:54 p.m. on Saturday, June 27th, 2026. I am the clinician called Dylan. I often forget to do proper introductions to videos because I'm just thinking out loud. This would be episode 62 of Let's Talk to Strangers Safely, and I'm going to try and cut this one off at 10 minutes. I periodically reintroduce myself. I am Dylan H. Randolph. I am a very complicated person. I'm a person. I'm an autistic trans man from Massachusetts. I have a master's degree in counseling psychology and about a decade's worth of experience working with abused children and other traumatized and at-risk youth and their families in the helping systems here in Massachusetts. I worked for a company called Elliott up in Lynn for their residential programs, primarily in one that was 12 and under. God, I loved that job. I loved those kids. I've worked for a bunch of different places, but most notably was Elliott and South Bay, where that was the job that I got after I got my master's degree. And I had been saying for a while at that point that like we in the residential programs were teaching these kids all these really great skills about like how to like not react violently or not react with like a harmful response to the things that were going on in their lives, because I worked with children that were severely abused and had been removed from their families by the DCF system due to either their behavior or the behavior they were witnessing in the homes. A lot of very troubled, wonderful kids. I was a troubled kid, so like I've just always gravitated towards like, no, I like the weird ones, I like the scary ones. I like the ones that are gonna throw a chair at my head and spit at me and call me a motherfucker. Like I used to keep telling my supervisor at South Bay, like, give me those kids, you know? Like, after working in the residential for like 8 years with like, I worked in one of the programs that had a reputation within the state of we didn't turn kids away no matter what their behavioral issues were. So we got some of the most challenging behavior. Like, you know, we were one of those houses. There's a reason we keep our knives locked up. There's a reason that, like, you know, some houses thankfully we did not have bars on our windows, but the windows you could not like secure. I forget how they dealt with that problem, because no, we couldn't have nailed them shut. And we did have real glass at one point, because I remember kids would like threaten to kick it out and they'd be like, no, that's real glass, and you go really hurt yourself. And then one of them actually did break. Nope, that's real glass, and you really did hurt yourself. I love telling the stories about like my coworkers and the kids and like how like, because we did the work of like teaching these kids, here's how you avoid ending up in jail, here's how you avoid ending up you know, going down the same path that like clearly you've learned this negative behavior from somewhere. A lot of us came from, you know, difficult backgrounds and worked with a lot of excellent people. God, I miss the whole life that I had, but also I don't, because it was so stressful. Like, I miss the interactions. Oh right, so it's 3:35, 6, 7. I'm looking for a new family to tolerate me for a little while. I wore out my welcome in Vermont, unfortunately. Yeah, as is what generally happens with me eventually, is that no, eventually I get overwhelmed and I get lonely and I get scared and I have like these big blowout tantrums, which if you've never seen a military kid leaving town, you know, like his family's moved a whole bunch of times already, and that's not me, that was not my experience. I was the one that got called the awful things, like they turn around and all of a sudden like you're their one black friend, you're the one black person they've been hanging out with, and all of a sudden they're extra racist, all kinds of hurtful things, because it's easier to just burn that bridge and never have to worry about it again than admit that you are sad that you are leaving. But that only happened a couple of times. I'm lying. That happened a lot. That happened a lot. Being like campground kids, like a lot of times we were the only black family. We were the only blended family, and I literally yesterday in the morning, someone called me a nigger to my face and told me I should go pick cotton. That happened at Psych Hospital. Just yesterday, literally yesterday morning, about 1 o'clock in the morning. That girl was very proud to say that she was born in Weymouth and now lives in Braintree. So you tell me again that this isn't a racist area? A 19-year-old girl yesterday morning looked me in the face and called me a nigger and told me that I should go pick cotton. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm just gonna go take a walk. Just go take a walk. Oh right, there's a police report from the family that's just right there, reporting that there was a black female walking in their neighborhood. They knew who I was and where I lived and why I was there. That was what got written down in the report. Black female walking in neighborhood. Oh right, I'm gonna drink some milk. That's just healthy milk. I don't particularly like plain white milk, but that's what I have available. All right, so in the 3 minutes I have remaining, I'm gonna try and veer away from whatever that dark mood I was just about to be in was, and talk about here's my basic I'm a homeless person in this area kit. Just if you stumble upon a backpack that has its belongings like kind of like done up in separate bags, and there's like just a jar of peanut butter in there, that's probably not someone with a severe mental illness necessarily. A lot of people would want to call that OCD or whatever. No, that's called being tidy when you live out of a bag. So, my speakers for my headphones, which do not go at the bottom of the bag. My hygiene kit. So, if you're gonna live outside, people are gonna keep locking you in buildings and try to convince you to live inside instead. No, these are just helpful kits that anyone at all should ever have if you go to the gym, maybe. So, toothpaste. Some of the hospitals actually do have really good products. Yeah, I do stupid product reviews mixed in with my stuff. It's fun. This is actually a really good hair conditioner. That's just a name brand fucking, I don't give a shit about that. This is the good one. Oh, this is the really good one. So, the benefit of having been locked in so many hospitals is I've gotten to sample an awful lot of their products. And this it's like a lavender, I think, smelling one. Yeah, it's the Dawn Mist baby lotion. But this is by far, like, fuck you and your fancy $20 a jar shit. This is the best. Psych hospitals have the best hand lotion. That was too much for my hands. Now some goes on my foot. That was too much. But so anyway, I feel better. So yeah, aromatherapy, and also it's just a really good lotion. So yeah, I'm getting ready to go for a walk. Oh right, I was gonna try and be funny about the Crazy Man pack. I'll do that in a different video. I'll like get in a good mood and be ready to sing a song about being crazy Uncle Critter Dylan, because that's way more fun. I try to go on stage and be funny, and by the time I get to stages, I'm just angry and want to scream at everyone to shut the hell up and go away. I don't like being inside of buildings that other people are inside of. I think that's the problem, is I don't like being inside of buildings with other people. There we go. But, so yeah. Something, crazy homeless man approves. Yeah. If you have blood sugar issues, this is just also a good thing to know about. 10 minutes. Yeah, it's just me thinking. Whatever.